everybody, welcome back to Emma's Dollhouse. If this is your first time here, then I'm so glad you're here. And if you're a repeat watcher, then thanks for coming back. Today I have kind of a short tutorial video. I recently obtained something that I had seen before on other dolls. It's kind of popular, like people like this service, but I had never gotten it on any dolls for myself, and it is a hearing aid. So this is what it looks like. This is one from an American Girl. I got this off of a doll that I purchased secondhand. She came with the hearing aid, and I decided to kind of steal the hearing aid off of her and move it to a different doll. So I was with one of my friends when she got hearing aids for her doll in the doll store, and we were surprised when she came out and she had holes drilled behind the ear to attach the hearing aid on. So if you don't know, this is the hearing aid. It can go on either the right or the left of the doll, just by how you bend this white piece. And then it has a hole. You can kind of see a hole right there. And then it comes with this stud. It's the same size as an American Girl earring. And then it just goes through the hole like this. Wait, there we go. And that is how the hearing aid stays on the doll's ear. So I got this secondhand doll, and she had this hearing aid, and she had the hole to go with it. And I decided to take the hearing aid out of her and move it to a different doll. I was concerned that I wasn't going to be able to resell that secondhand doll because of the missing hearing aid, but I managed to sell her regardless. What I did is I took an extra stud, one of the metal ones that came in an earrings pack, and I took that, and it was an extra. I was missing the other one. I took that and I put it in, and it looks kind of like a little gem or a little decoration just blocking that hole. And so she ended up selling. So I now have this spare hearing aid. I wanted to add her to one of my dolls, and so I selected my 112 Amari, who will be joining me in just a second up on camera. And I tried to use glue because I didn't want to drill a hole to put the earring on the doll. And the glue would stay, so I would put the glue on one side where the flat part of the hearing aid is, and then I would stick it to the head, and I'd use some scotch tape basically to hold it on to apply some pressure. It would stay for a little bit, but then I would knock it and it would come undone. And I tried 2 or 3 rounds of that, and none of it was really working nicely. And so eventually I just said, whatever, I'm just going to drill the hole. So I brought Amari up here. I am going to be attaching it to this ear right here. So I have kind of pre-fit, my angle is super bad, but I have pre-fit the hearing aid to fit right there. Every single mold, every single doll's mold has slightly different shape around the ear, just like that. So how the hearing aid is formed is going to be slightly different for every mold. I kind of tried to tie some of her hair back with this ribbon. I don't know if it's working so nicely. Her hair looks really, really bad, but I think this will be good to have it a little bit out of the way to do the hole drilling. And then, so for those that don't know, the holes are made with a drill, like an actual drill. The online tutorials I was seeing were recommending 5/64 as the size of the drill to use. I don't have a 5/64. Interestingly, the closest that I have is a 1/16, which math is 4/64. So I have just slightly under a 5/64, and we're going to use that. And how I know that it works. So here I have a head, a disembodied head. This is my test doll. She doesn't even have a name. I think she's a Truly Me 64, or was a Truly Me 64. These are not her original eyes. These are green eyes from Doll of a Kind. I stole her original eyes for something else, and then obviously I took her wig off. And so one of the things that I wanted to test it with was drilling this hole. So I put this on the ear as if I was going to attach it. I didn't want to change the actual shape of the hearing aid because it's perfectly fit for this girl here. But I put it on, and I took a pencil and I stuck a pencil through the hole to kind of mark where to drill the hole. Then I used a push pin to make a starter hole, you could say. And then my husband helped me drill a hole right where the push pin was. And it was a bit tight. As you'll see in the footage when we do the official girly here, he's gonna kind of have to wiggle it around, make it a little bit looser, and then it's gonna take some muscle to get the earring in. I used a metal earring to stick in and make it the right size because the metal is just tougher than the plastic of this one. Then wait several hours and then I can go for the actual real hearing aid. This one, it does come out and in, just like that. So this is what the hole looks like. Boop, 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 boop. I just stuck this earring in to just kind of help it keep its shape. I don't care. It's just my test doll. I don't care if it closes up. But this also kind of demos if I ever want to take the hearing aid out, this is an alternative. So you just put this one's a star. I also have hearts. I have little dots. I have different colored studs. So you just like stick one of the earrings in and then it creates like a cool little secret. This actually, it's pretty cool because this reminds me, I actually have like a tattoo. You can't even like see it, but I have a tattoo behind my ear right here. It's a tiny little sun. So this kind of reminds me of it. This is obviously a star, not a sun, but reminds me of your kind of little secret behind your ear. It's like she looks totally normal and then you turn and she's got just a tiny little secret. So I don't think it's actually, I wanted to avoid this. If I ever wanted to take the hearing aid off, that's why I wanted to use glue. But after seeing this on a couple of dolls, the doll that I ended up selling and this doll, I'm kind of like, that's pretty cute actually. So I think it's cute for that to just be a little permanent thing on the doll if I decide I don't want the hearing aid. So that's a really long intro. So now we're gonna switch to the footage of me actually prepping the doll for the drilling itself, and then we'll come back at the end and see how it turned out. So the first thing I'm going to do is place the hearing aid up to where I want it to be, kind of make sure that I like the placement here. I think I want it here. Then I'm going to stick this pencil. I extended the lead really far so I could stick it through the hole, maybe even a little farther. And then draw a little circle. So she's dark skinned, so I can just barely see it. And now I'm going to take the push pin and then press hard to make a hole. Now we can see she has the start of a hole right there. Pretty sure that that's gonna fit. Yeah, it's reaching in there. Cool. So now we're gonna grab the drill. It took several rounds of going in and out to try to make the hole big enough. I'm gonna let this sit a bit because if I take it out and try to put the plastic in, I'm afraid I'll just warp the plastic. So I'm just gonna let it sit on the metal, and then maybe in a day or so, we'll come back and try the hearing aid. All right, everybody, I am back with Amari. Her hearing aid is finally done. Let me see if I can pull it back. So it turned out perfectly. I put a metal stud in for a while and left that. And I think for going like to make the hole, like just solidify that hole, just going in and out with the metal stud is helpful. But then once it got to be a good size, I went ahead and put the plastic one in with the hearing aid. I sort of wish the hearing aid was plastic, but then came with a metal stud, like one that was a similar color to the hearing aid. I saw another channel actually painted the hearing aid to make it silver instead of pink. And I thought about doing that too, but I just was kind of lazy and I just wanted to kind of be done with the project. So I left it as pink. So yeah, she looks so good. You can see just a little bit past her hair, but it's not super visible. It turned out so well. I did have some trouble drilling the hole. I think that if the drill bit was the right size, the 5/64 inch, then it would have gone much better than 4/64, which is what we ended up using. And in the footage, you can definitely see we had to like go in and out and keep trying multiple times to get it to big enough to where we could like push that pin in. So definitely could have made it easier on ourselves, but I didn't want to go buy more drill bit just for this. So I think just overall this project turned out so successful. I'm so happy with it. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like and comment and subscribe below. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every single time I upload a new video. And I hope to see you next time on Emma's Dollhouse. Bye.